Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either March 7th or 8th, 2023. And I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? I'm happy to say there are a lot fewer books that I'm going to be talking about this week than I have in the past 2 weeks, so hopefully we'll get through them fairly quickly. But first, let's start off this video by taking a look back at my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was Local Man, issue number 1. And the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile pick to be my just one book pick of the week? And the answer is, kinda. If you saw my video last week when I talked about Torrent, which was my pick of the week 2 weeks before that video, I was very enthusiastic about Torrent, and I still am. I'm really excited to continue to read Torrent. Local Man, however, was interesting. It wasn't bad at all. It was pretty good. I could see what's entertaining and compelling and why somebody might pick up issue number 1 and want to read more of it, but for me, it didn't really excite me, and especially coming off of a week where Torrent excited me so much, my impression of Local Man kind of suffers in the process. So it was fine, but not great. But one thing I will mention is in last week's video, I mentioned how I went to a signing and I got Torrent signed by the artist and the writer. Well, at that exact same signing was, oh, here it is, Tony Fleecs, who is one of the writers and artists of Local Man. So I got him to sign an A cover. I also got him to sign a C cover because it was this kind of groovy 90s foil version that he even admitted he was surprised that it was the same price as this one, considering it's foil. He's like, we might have messed up there. He also gave these collecting cards that are exclusive to different places that he's going to do signings. So that was just kind of a nice little bonus. But anyways, it was just a fun thing that I went to this signing at this comic book store and got Torrent signed, but I also got some of Local Man signed as well. If you read Local Man, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. All right, let's plow through and talk about the books that are coming out this week. Now, there are 6 books that I'm going to be talking about, 5 honorable mentions, and then my just one book pick for the week. My first honorable mention is a new book. It is called Red Zone, issue number 1 of a 4-issue limited series from AWA. Here's the description. Randall Crane, an unassuming American professor of Russian and Slavic studies at NYU, is called in by the US government for a secret international mission back to Russia, where his long-buried secrets come to light. When his support team of commandos is ambushed and killed, it's up to Randall to fight his way out of Russia using his particular set of skills. Okay, that is the kind of story that a lot of people are interested in. So if this is the kind of story, you know, this kind of international spy intrigue kind of thing makes you happy, then you might consider picking this up this week. One of the main reasons that I mention it is because it's from writer Cullen Bunn. Cullen Bunn is a name you've heard me mention before. He is a prolific writer, meaning he has new stuff coming out all the time. And good stuff. So he's a writer not to be ignored. So if you're a fan of Cullen Bunn, if you're a fan of this genre of storytelling, this might be a book you consider picking up this week. The next book I'd like to mention to you is a new book. It is called The Gimmick, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series. I'm not exactly sure who the publisher is. ComicCandy.com, maybe? Here's the description. A hard-hitting action drama written by rising star Joanne Starrer. Pro wrestling champ Shane Bryant's ring persona, his gimmick, is unforgettable. He's a nice guy. But his secret is more colorful. He has super strength. And when he punches his fist straight through his opponent's brain, In front of 2.4 million horrified viewers, everything changes. Now Shane needs a new gimmick and a new life. Featuring cover A by Erica Henderson and incentive cover B by Kari Randolph. Okay, so this was a one that when I saw it, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be so interesting. Just off of kind of the cover alone, it raises a lot of questions about the quality for me. That being said, a story about a pro wrestler who has super strength that he was trying to hide until he accidentally punches his fist through someone's brain in the ring in front of 2.4 million people. Okay, now I'm interested in knowing where this story is going to go. Am I interested enough to pick it up? No, I'm not going to pick it up. But if you are interested enough to pick it up, I wanted to make sure that you knew about it coming out this week. The next book that I want to mention to you is a new book. It is Predator, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Fear is reborn. On a planet far from Earth, 8 strangers find themselves in a deadly game. But this time, the predators aren't the only ones on the hunt. Someone has the Yautja in their sights, and they've been searching for this game preserve for a long time. Ed Brisson and Netho Diaz kicks off an explosive new series that will turn everything you thought you knew about predators on its head. Okay, it seems like 2 or more years ago when I first heard the news that the characters of Predator and the characters of Alien, the Xenomorphs, and these Hunter-Predator guys were going to be coming to Marvel Comics. That was exciting news. Not so much really for me from a, we're getting new stories standpoint, although they're very cool characters and people like them a lot, and so new stories featuring them are appealing to a lot of people. But for me, I'm mostly interested in how these characters are going to work into the Marvel Universe as a whole. Are we going to have, Wolverine hunting a Predator or vice versa, or this kind of storyline? This is what interests me the most. And similar to the Alien series that came out from Marvel, I think that came out a year or more ago, it looks like this is going to focus exclusively just on a Predator-centric story, and it is not going to touch on the Marvel Universe as a whole. And once again, that's fine. You'd think they would mention if it was going to touch on the Marvel Universe as a whole in this description, because it would be something that get people like me interested. Since that's not what's happening, I'm a lot less interested in this book this week, so I am not going to be picking it up. But there are plenty of Predator fans out there, legitimately so, and if you are one of them, I wanted to make sure you knew that this was coming out this week. The next honorable mention that I have for you is a new book. It is called Stoneheart, issue number 1 from Image Comics. Here's the description. Emma Kubert, the artist behind Frank Miller presents Frank Miller's Pandora and Image Comics Inkblot and Radiant Pink, introduces her whimsically twisted tale Stoneheart, a new ongoing action-adventure fantasy series. Bubbly and headstrong, Shade Whisperer has been inexplicably exiled from her magical guild and relocated, left only with vague memories and romanticized hope. But when she hears a sinister voice in her head that awakens a power beyond her comprehension, she'll traverse her past and present to unravel her prestigious place within the mystical land of Athea. Okay, so I mentioned this book this week because it's a fantasy book. It's a new book from Image Comics. I have a little bit of a bias, and I like new books from Image Comics. Not as a rule, but it kind of, makes me pay attention. And that's basically why I'm paying attention to this. So if you like fantasy stories, if this description sounded interesting to you, or if you're just looking to pick up an Image Comics issue number 1 this week, These are all reasons that you might consider Stoneheart coming out this week. The next honorable mention that I have for you is Batman, issue 133 from DC. Here's the description. Everyone goes insane eventually, and then they belong to the terrifying Red Mask. But Gotham City has a new savior. He strikes from the shadows, exhumes the dead, and is known only as the Batman. And in our backup story, Tim Drake's search for Batman continues as he and Superman, John Kent, team up to stop the terror of the Toyman. So this is the first book on this list of books that I've mentioned in this video today that I am going to be buying. I'll be buying this book, and I'll be buying my Just One Book Pick of the Week. I'm buying Batman for the reasons that you all know why, because I mentioned that every time there's a Batman book that comes out. Batman is awesome. He's arguably the greatest superhero character in all of comic books. I'll give you a Spider-Man if that's your preference. But Batman's an amazing character no matter how you slice it. And this book is written by Chip Zdarsky. Chip Zdarsky is my second favorite writer. He does really, really good work. And so far, his work on this Batman title has been really, really good. So I am absolutely 100% all in on Batman. Usually this is where I would mention Jorge Jimenez and his art, which is also just fantastic in this Batman title. While he does the cover of this issue, according to the information I have here, he is not doing the interior art. He will be back to do the interior art on Batman in not too long, but just not on this one, and I don't think he was on the last one either, but he'll be back. So anyways, there's a lot of great reasons to pick up Batman, and they're all the reasons why I pick up Batman. And there are all the reasons why I mentioned it to you this week in this video as an honorable mention. All right, now it's time to move on to the one book that I would buy this week if I could buy just one book. And that book is Clear, issue number 1 of a 3-issue limited series from Dark Horse Comics. Here's the description. In the not-too-distant future, mankind no longer sees the world as it truly is. The invention of neurological filters has made it so one can view reality however they may choose. Old Hollywood monochrome, zombie apocalypse, anime, the possibilities are endless. Neo-Seamus Sam Dunes is one of the only a handful who choose to live without a filter. When the death of an old flame reveals foul play, Dunes is set on a wild and twisting mystery that will take him from the city's deadly underworld to the even deadlier heights of wealth and power. New series by Scott Snyder and Francis Manapul. Okay, so that last sentence is, for me, the main reason why I'm interested in this book this week, and that is Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder is a solid writer. He has done lots of fantastic work that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. I'll point out one thing in particular, one project of his called Witches, which I'm happy to say I have 198 copy of, and I'm happy to say I have it because it just got announced a couple weeks ago that it will be an animated series, I believe on Netflix, maybe Amazon, I don't remember the platform, but it is going to be an animated series. That's good news in general. It's good news for Scott Snyder. It proves that Scott Snyder's projects can be adapted and make it to the screen. So these are all very, very good things when it comes to speculating on his books. But once again, he's also just a quality writer. And if you enjoy work done by quality writers, then you might consider Clear this week. In addition, it is only a 3-issue limited series. Now, I believe they're going to be $5 a piece, so hopefully they're a little bit oversized. But it's a low commitment. So you can pick up issue number 1, as I always say, read it if you enjoy it. You can pick up issues number 2 and 3, and if you love that, maybe there'll be more in the future. But it's only going to be 3 issues if you just want to stick with this initial installment. And if you don't like it, well, you just file it away in the PC. And then who knows? Maybe someday Clear will become a television show or a movie, and you'll have a nice little piece of your collection to to enjoy that with. But like I said, it's a low commitment. It's from a great writer. It's an indie number 1. There's just and the story. I didn't even mention this. The premise sounds pretty interesting to me. It also sounds like it could be a great opportunity for the artist, considering that everybody sees the world through different filters, like, you know, black and white movies or zombie apocalypse, you know, whatever you choose. I imagine that the writer will dip into people's perspectives and give us cool, different kind of art styles to match the different genres that people are seeing through their filters. So that could be really cool and really entertaining. But I also think that it's kind of cool and entertaining from a story perspective as well, because it's very escapist and odd to live your life through a filter. So why are people doing that? Why are people not doing that? And how does all of this impact the world? There's a lot going on here that I find very interesting. So because I'm excited about all the prospects from the writer, from the art potential, the storyline potential, everything that this title has to offer led me to making it my just one book pick for this week. Okay, that's it. Hopefully I got through it fairly quickly. If you like this video, likes are appreciated by me. More and more people are watching these videos every week. I'm amazed to watch the numbers grow on this. So thank you to all of you, new and old, who watched this video. Please hit the like button if you'd like, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.